Recent reports have confirmed a significant military shift along the NATO frontier, the deployment of Russian nuclear-capable missile systems in regions bordering alliance territory. This development comes at a time when diplomatic relations are at their lowest point in decades. While the Kremlin maintains these moves are purely defensive, the international community sees a calculated escalation designed to test Western resolve. Today, we delve into what this deployment actually entails, the specific hardware involved, and the potential for a renewed arms race in Europe. We are looking beyond the headlines to understand the strategic calculus behind moving high-stakes weaponry to the very edge of the NATO alliance. The focus of this escalation centers on two key geographic areas, the Kaliningrad enclave and specific sites within Belarus. Kaliningrad, a Russian territory wedged between Poland and Lithuania, has long been a fortress, but the recent influx of Iskander-M systems changes the math for regional defense. By placing these systems in Belarus as well, Moscow effectively extends its reach into the Suwalki Gap, a 60-mile-long strip of land that is the only land link between NATO's Baltic members and the rest of the alliance. This geographic positioning is not accidental. It is a direct challenge to NATO's ability to defend its easternmost members. At the heart of this tension is the Iskander-M, a mobile short-range ballistic missile system that is notoriously difficult to intercept. With an operational range of 500 kilometers, or approximately 310 miles, these missiles can reach major European capitals from their current deployment zones. What makes the Iskander-M particularly concerning is its dual capability. It can carry both conventional and nuclear warheads. Traveling at speeds up to Mach 7, the missile utilizes a quasi-ballistic trajectory, performing unpredictable maneuvers during its terminal phase to evade air defense systems like the Patriot. It is a weapon designed specifically to bypass the most advanced shields the West has to offer. Why now? Analysts suggest this move is a multi-layered response to several factors. First, it serves as a blunt instrument of coercive diplomacy, intended to pressure Western nations into scaling back military aid to Ukraine. Second, it is a response to the expansion of NATO, specifically the recent accession of Finland and Sweden, which has effectively turned the Baltic Sea into a NATO lake. By reinforcing Kaliningrad and Belarus, Russia is asserting its presence in a region where it feels increasingly surrounded. This isn't just about tactical utility, it's about a broader geopolitical statement that Russia maintains the capability to strike back against what it perceives as Western encroachment. NATO has not remained idle in the face of these developments. The alliance has significantly bolstered its enhanced forward presence in the east, increasing troop levels from 4 to 8 multinational battle groups. In addition to personnel, there has been a massive surge in air defense capabilities. Germany, the United States, and the Netherlands have deployed Patriot batteries and Iris-T systems to Poland and the Baltics to create a multi-layered shield. Furthermore, NATO's nuclear sharing policy remains a cornerstone of its deterrent strategy, reminding the Kremlin that any use of nuclear weapons would result in a catastrophic response. The alliance is emphasizing unity and readiness, signaling that Article 5, the All-for-One clause, is more relevant than ever. For those who lived through the 1980s, this scenario feels hauntingly familiar. We are seeing echoes of the Euro missile crisis, when the Soviet deployment of SS-20 missiles led to NATO's double-track decision and the subsequent arrival of US Pershing II missiles in Europe. The current situation, however, is arguably more volatile. Unlike the Cold War, where clear red lines and communication channels existed to prevent accidental escalation, today's communication is fragmented. The suspension of the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty in 2019 removed the primary legal framework that prevented these very deployments. We are now in a post-treaty world where the old rules no longer apply, and the margin for error is razor-thin. The greatest danger in this current environment is not a planned nuclear strike, but a tragic miscalculation. With nuclear-capable systems positioned so close to the border, the warning time for leaders to decide on a response is reduced to mere minutes. A technical glitch, a stray missile from an exercise, or a misinterpreted radar signal could trigger a chain reaction that is impossible to stop. This launch-on-warning pressure creates a hair-trigger environment. International watchdogs have expressed concern that as both sides increase their readiness, the psychological pressure on commanders on the ground grows, making the risk of an accidental conflict higher than it has been in over 30 years. The diplomatic response has been swift but largely divided. While the G7 and NATO members have condemned the deployment as irresponsible and destabilizing, other global powers have remained more cautious. China has called for restraint on all sides without specifically naming Russia, while many nations in the global south are wary of being drawn into what they see as a European security crisis. At the United Nations, emergency sessions have highlighted the erosion of the global arms control architecture. Diplomatic channels are currently focused on deconfliction, ensuring that even if the rhetoric is hot, the actual military movements do not accidentally cross into NATO territory and spark a broader war. As we have seen, the deployment of nuclear-capable missiles near the NATO border is more than just a military move. It is a profound shift in the security landscape of the 21st century. It marks the transition from a period of relative stability to one defined by permanent high readiness and constant posturing. The challenge for the coming months will be for both sides to maintain their deterrence without stumbling into a conflict that no one truly wants. Whether through new arms control agreements or more robust back-channel communication, the path toward de-escalation is narrow. For now, the world watches the borders of Eastern Europe, where the line between peace and a global catastrophe has become thinner than ever.